future, what would you say it is? Rockets, shuttles, space stations? Well, these may be our future, but they all started with the knowledge and skill of engineers and technicians. It's easy for us to see this big picture, but we forget about the necessary basics that make our dreams come true. So what are these basics? Well, it all started like this.
It's the way of the future, computer mind. It's the way of the future, computer mind. It's the way of the future, computer mind.
Concentrate on what you're doing. To go.
Did you see our common denominator here? Yep, it's your everyday typewriter or keyboard. It's through the keyboard that we write letters and correspondence, create documents, write programs, and communicate within the company. Skillful use of the keyboard is a must to work in the companies of today and tomorrow.
Hi, I'm Larry Marker, the Assistant Operations Manager for the Huntsville Operations at TRW. That means I'm responsible for the internal operations of about a 425-man organization. I'm responsible for all of the personnel administration, the staffing, the recruiting, the capital acquisition, resource allocation, and the day-to-day management of the projects. I started out with this company as a project manager a number of years ago, and before that I was a programmer with a computer company. I was trained and educated as an electrical engineer when I went to college. I never thought I would have to learn to type or use a keyboard. I passed up the opportunity to take typing in high school and again in college. I believed that when I got into the real world and started working, I'd always have a secretary to type my reports and my letters and memos, and typing was something I didn't have to do. Boy, was I wrong. That was before the advent of the personal computer and the real revolution of computers in the business place. We use computers for almost everything today, and I don't mean just big mainframe computers. I mean small personal computers like I have here and like I have at home. We use electronic mail where we send messages back and forth between managers here and managers in other offices. And I find it convenient to do that both from at home and at work when it's my opportunity to send the messages and read my mail. We also do, I found it very convenient to write my own letters and my own memos. And I don't mean to sit down at a typewriter and type the final product on letterhead. I mean, I sit down at my computer and I compose what I want to say. I can see it on my screen. I can edit it and get it in the form and say it exactly the way I wanted to say it. And then I write it to a disk and I give it to my secretary and she formats it. She gets it printed out on the proper kind of stationery and so forth. I find this is a whole lot quicker and more efficient for me than to sit down and write it out longhand and give it to a secretary, have her type it, give it back to me, let me edit it, revise it, proofread it, and so on. We also do a lot of spreadsheet work, accounting work, database work, where we keep records on the computer and we enter data in and do what-if exercises, what-if queries, what if we do this, what if we do that. A lot of these queries are couched in terms of like English language queries, and consequently I find that I'm constantly typing at a computer very much as though I was writing text, even though it may be things very much stranger than text. When I started out, I couldn't type. I didn't take typing, and so I was a real hunt and peck typist. But as time has gone on, I've become a lot faster and a lot better. I'm still not a touch typist. I have to look at the keyboard. I know where the keys are, but my fingers migrate all over the board, and I start typing some real strange stuff if I don't keep my eyes on the keyboard to see where my fingers are. I wish I had taken typing when I was in high school and had the opportunity, because it would have made my life a whole lot simpler later on.
Hi, I'm Gene Metzger, and I want to visit with you today about typing and the role that it can play in your future. My future with typing started when I was in the 10th grade in high school. I took a typing class, and I was the only fellow in the class, and I encourage all you boys to get out there and sign up for those typing classes. It's a great place to meet girls and get some hot dates. I don't know how many dates I came out of that class with, but I did come out of the class with a 40 word per minute typing skill, and it's something that I've capitalized on throughout my career. When I left high school, I didn't go into a job that needed any kind of typing skill. I've worked in a grocery store, I've worked in a garage, I've worked in a foundry, I've worked as a machinist, and none of those functions required any kind of typing skill. But I went back to college and I trained as an engineer. It wasn't something that I knew I was going to do, but I ended up doing that. And since I've come out of college and been in the engineering field, I have more and more relied on my typing skills. I oftentimes give things to my secretary that need to be put into a letter format, but all the text is created for her already, and it's something that I do regularly. So I encourage each one of you to sign up early, get those skills so you can build on them in the future. You're going to need them.
Okay, so now you say, I don't want to be an engineer or a manager. I don't need to learn how to keyboard for my field. Oh, yeah?
name is Susie Jones, and I'm a personnel manager at TRW, but I haven't always been a manager. I started out as a secretary in the personnel department. It was my keyboarding skills that enabled me to obtain my first position, which also enabled me to earn the money necessary to put myself through college. Many of those clerical skills that I originally learned to do by hand, I now do with the aid of a computer. We have software now that does word processing and generates our correspondence. We have spreadsheet software that automates our bookkeeping, and we have database software that enables us to store our files. In our personnel department, we communicate with people through the use of the computer each day. We send letters to those who are outside the company who are interested in coming to work for us. We communicate with others inside the company. Most of this communication takes the form of a letter, a memo, reports, or charts that we use for meetings or presentations. One big advantage for us is that we can send information with the use of a keyboard and a computer electronically over phone lines. This enables the sender to input the information at a time that is convenient for him or her, and the person on the other end who receives the information can retrieve the information at a time that is convenient for them. For all these functions, we use the computer and the typewriter, and keyboarding is an essential part of operating both of these machines. We're able to access and produce information in a matter of minutes now that used to take us hours and even days to produce. In summary, what I'd like to say to you is that one thing for certain, learning how to keyboard will never prove to be a hindrance for you. It will be a skill that you'll use throughout your lifetime, and one that will enable you to produce results much more quickly and much more accurately. That's a promise.
Keyboarding is not limited to the aerospace industry, but rather is represented in almost every area of the job market.
Hi, I'm James Keller, the Corporate Supervisor with Four Seasons Travel. We are the official travel agency for TRW Operations in Huntsville. We handle all of TRW's business travel as far as airline reservations, cars, and hotel bookings. We also handle lots of vacation travel here. Where would you like to go? Anywhere in the world. We do vacations to Mexico, cruises to the Caribbean, and European vacations. If you want to take a train ride, we can all do that here. An important part of booking travel, of course, is the computer and the keyboard. Everything we do as far as airlines, cruises, and everything can be booked directly in our computer system. Of course, to use the computer, you have to be able to use the keyboard. The keyboards are very complex and sometimes a little confusing, but you'll learn, over time. I can remember when I was getting ready to learn keyboards and my mother forced me to take a typing class. I thought, I won't use this, and now I'm glad I did because it made me able to sail all these wonderful vacations around the world. So no matter how bad I thought that typing class was, I'm glad I took it because it got me where I am today.
Hi, I'm Charlotte Rumore, a sales representative with Monroe Business Equipment. My relationship with TRW is selling them furniture, office machines, and office supplies when my prices are low enough. And today, I want to tell you how important keyboarding is in just being able to do that for them. I use it every day. Here in this business, every department uses keyboard skills. Some of you may be thinking, well, when I get out of school, I'm probably going somewhere to work in a warehouse. Well, let me tell you, we have a lot of folks that work in our warehouse, and every one of them needs keyboard skills. When furniture comes in, it has to be entered into the computer so the rest of us can know that it's here. And the sales reps use the keyboard every day. We can look up in the computer to see if we have an item in stock. Not only will we find if it's here, but what color it is, how much it costs, how much we can sell it for to make a profit. And it just saves us countless hours from having to go back to the warehouse and actually physically look for something. And if you had ever been in our warehouse, you would know why we don't want to do that. It's much easier on the computer. Our accounting department does our billing with a keyboard. Our telephone sales ladies take orders, and they take it with a keyboard. Each of them has a personal computer right on their desk. In our store section, where we sell paper clips and things to people who just walk in, the billing is done using keyboarding skills. The furniture and the supplies that we bring into the building to sell are ordered through a keyboard. It's ordered by a computer now. Cuts down on time so much and means that there will be fewer errors because people can read what's printed by a printer easier than they can handwritten pages. Everybody in this building uses a computer, whether it's the president of the company or the fellows in the warehouse. And we just all find that it saves us so much time and actually makes our work day easier. One of the first questions we ask when a prospective employee comes in is, do you have keyboard skills? And the person who does have is 10 times more apt to be hired. Keyboarding is really, really important in just about any job that you would ever think about having, and particularly any job that you would have in this field.
As you've seen, the typewriter or keyboard is a necessity in almost every career path. Now is the time to master your keyboarding skills to help with your educational assignments and to give you a key to your future.
It's the way of the future. Computer mind. It's the way of the future. Computer mind. It's the way of the future. Computer mind. Mind.